The Dallas Cowboys have made a shocking trade on deadline day, and I got one question. Jerry, what are you doing to this team? Let's break it down on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, fans, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down the trade that was made by the Dallas Cowboys today, acquiring a wide receiver that ultimately I don't think is going to make a huge difference this season. But before we get into the trade and all that went down today on deadline day, I want to let you know that 85% of you watching these videos are not subbed to the channel. So go ahead, hit that sub button. It'd mean the world to me, and we are close to my goal 2,500 subscribers. So it'd mean a lot if you could help get me there. But let's get straight into it. The Cowboys have acquired Johnathan Mingo and a 2025 seventh round pick from the Panthers on Tuesday in exchange for 2025 fourth round pick from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. And the 39 overall pick in the 2023 draft, Mingo struggled to find his footing during his 1.5 seasons in Carolina, turning in a 55 reception, 539-yard, no touchdown receiving line on 111 targets over his 24 games. Though he was never a high-end producer during his time in college at Ole Miss, he's got big physical tools, of course. 6'2", 220 pounds, and some intriguing speed with pretty high vertical leaps. So there is some upside there to Johnathan Mingo, but this is widely regarded as a massive overpay off the surface by the Dallas Cowboys. It remains to be seen how he fits in, especially with Cooper Rush. Dak Prescott going to be on IR now for at least 4 weeks, so we'll see how the Cowboys adjust to that. But off the top of my head, this is a head scratcher. I cannot believe that this was a move that was made. I cannot believe that they gave up draft capital to acquire a guy who has criminally underperformed at the NFL level, and could see there, obviously, sending the fourth round pick just hours before the deadline. So this was a couple of hours ago, and the Cowboys placed Dak Prescott on injured reserve, meaning he will miss at least 4 games due to the hamstring injury. And I would not be shocked if we don't see Dak Prescott back this season in a Cowboy uniform. And Prescott is one of 2 Cowboys who suffered injuries on Sunday. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb spent half the game fighting through a shoulder, which seems to be fine. It came back negative, so there's nothing structurally wrong with CeeDee Lamb's shoulder. But again, off the top of my head, huge head scratcher, and Mike Leslie seems to think the same way that I do. Why do the Cowboys continually get fleeced in the trade market? Cowboys traded a first round pick for Amari Cooper. Cowboys traded a fourth round pick for Johnathan Mingo. DeAndre Hopkins was acquired by the Chiefs for a conditional fifth. Amari Cooper and a sixth round pick were acquired by the Bills for a third round pick and a seventh round pick. The Jets acquired Devontae Adams for a third. The Cowboys might want to consider not making any more wide receiver trades because they clearly aren't very good at it. Now, this seems like a GM who is not afraid to lose his job, and that's exactly what it is. If any other GM made this kind of move for Johnathan Mingo, guy who is on one of the worst teams in the National Football League, who has not done anything of substance at the National Football League level, they would lose their job. However, the guy occupying the GM position for the Cowboys, it's Jerry Jones. He's not in any danger of losing his job. So, again, I can't believe this move was made here. I can't believe this is the direction that the Cowboys decided to go in, giving up a fourth round pick. And I want to show you guys some notable fourth round picks here that we've seen just as early as this season. So, Braylon Allen gets selected by the New York Jets, who's already an impact player. And then Bucky Irving by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who is, again, another impact player who is starting in place of Rashad White right now due to that injury. So it just shows you that fourth round pick is nothing to laugh at. And the fact that the Cowboys are just throwing those away, it doesn't make too much sense to me. So they're trading away fourth round pick for Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is your third quarterback. He's going to be the backup now, and he hasn't played at all since you've acquired him. And you're trading away a fourth round pick for Johnathan Mingo when you could have used that fourth round pick on either a running back or a wide receiver that you could have gotten for cheap. So again, this screams to me that the Cowboys are just totally out to lunch here. Jerry Jones, no idea what the thought process is here, and it's just disheartening. Like, they got fleeced. they got fleeced. And if you go on Twitter, it is pretty much blowing up right now. Everyone's calling the Cowboys the most unserious organization in the National Football League. Nothing is going their way this year, and they're just adding insult to injury by trading away draft picks, by mortgaging their future for a guy who has control. Like it's not like you're going to lose Johnathan Mingo at the end of the year, but he's making second round money as opposed to fourth round money, which you could have used that pick on getting a wide receiver. This is a lost year. Maybe you like Johnathan Mingo and you like what he can bring to the table in years to come, but apart from that, I can't think of any reason why the Cowboys would pull the trigger on this kind of trade. It doesn't make sense to me. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this. I'm not a fan of it. I've been on record saying that the Cowboys should be looking to acquire draft capital as opposed to trading it away. And now Jerry Jones basically saying that he still believes in the team and that he's going to make trades for this season. It just does not make any sort of sense to me. What are we doing here? What's going on? Because enlighten me. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is here. He's got good physical tools. He's been okay for the Panthers in his rookie season. Hasn't really done much this year with Deontay Johnson in there, with Xavier Legette. There are other guys that have taken away his snaps, and he's basically been non-existent in the Panthers offense this year. And you take a look at what they've done as a team. I mean, you're you're going from one of the worst teams in football, barely even playing for them, to now probably being in the third receiver role for the Cowboys if Brandon Cooks isn't back right away. So he's going to play in an elevated role, and maybe he'll shine a little bit more. You'll see some of those physical tools, but he doesn't have a damn touchdown in a year and a half worth of football. 539 yards in a year and a half, 111 targets. It's not great. It's really not great, and he's not getting that snap share that you like to see, especially not for a fourth round pick. So it's a lot to give up here. Definitely a lot to give up by the Dallas Cowboys, and this comes after owner Jerry Jones said quarterback Dak Prescott would be on injured reserve. So the fact that you're losing your quarterback probably for the season, and you decide to add as opposed to bring in draft picks and try to rebuild through the draft this summer. It just doesn't make sense to me. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this trade. I'm not a fan of it. I quite frankly hate it. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with this. Let me know in the comments down below. Good trade, bad trade. Does Jerry need to go? Let me know down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Go Cowboys.